That's right, we are doing the follow-up to the SIG RXP X Carry. So I've got well over 1,000 rounds through this thing, and this is kind of the video to follow up on what I've learned about this thing, any little quirks it might have, likes, dislikes, all of that good stuff. Now that I've got a really fair amount of rounds through this thing, both just in fun and training, but of course testing a bunch of different parts like comps and barrels and all that good stuff that I have been doing since the SIG bug bit me. Now, if you have not seen my original review on that thing, I will leave it linked down below. But since that, I've got a bunch of rounds through this. I've had a really good time with it out on the range, and I've tested several parts. One of my most favorite on there being that gray P80 frame, because the thing feels good and it absolutely has that perfect gray color that you all know that I am into. So as far as this thing sits right now, it is all factory minus the light. Came with the sight, came with the shroud, came with the night sights on it. Comes with the X grip, the X fire control unit. I did add the SIG factory magwell, but other than that, and the light, she is how she came straight out of the factory. So before we get into all the specs on that stuff, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, turn the bell notification icons on, give the video a like if at any point in time you feel that I have deserved it. So I've gotten a couple of messages from people recently, again, that they either weren't getting notifications or they were unsubscribed. So just double check all that stuff for me. If you want to support the channel, you can check out the Shall Not Comply store. They handle all the merchandise for the channel, which is awesome. You can check out the Patreon if you're interested, or you can use any of the affiliate links down below. All of those help out a tremendous amount. I think I said blinks, I meant links. We're gonna go ahead and get into the update, talk about how this is wearing in, what I've learned, what I like, what I don't like, so you guys can get a good understanding if the RXP X Carry may be something that you are interested in or wanna go down that SIG road. All right, let's go ahead and get into this thing. And this is not going to be a full review of this. We're just going to do a quick update on this and kind of show you some things going on with this setup. So I will list the specs kind of over here somewhere on what this is, the RXP X Carry. Let's talk about the magazines first here. Now, the SIG mags, these are expensive. These are like 50 bucks a piece. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of magazine exchanges with these mags now, and you can see where they are wearing. They are wearing exactly as to be expected. Nothing crazy, have not had any problem with those. As far as the pistol goes itself, so everything on here is factory. This is how it came, well, minus the light. So everything else is from SIG. This is a SIG magwell. Although it did not come on this, it is a SIG part. If you use the SIG magwell, you have to have either the 21 round fun sticks here, or you have to have the X5 base plates. The regular mags will not work with this unless you trim them up. Everything else in here is how it came. Let's tackle the grip right now. I love the grip angle of the SIG. I like what's going on here. I normally don't like the finger grooves. I dig it. What I wish is that they put the texture just everywhere. Just put the texture all around. Why? Don't leave these areas out. Give me the texture and then give me a little bit of reference here. That's maybe nitpicking, but that's just something that I have noticed. Coming up from there, all of the controls have worked flawlessly. I've had no issues there. I've had no issues with the grip, the fire control unit, extraction, ejecting, anything like that. Coming up into the optic area here, you can see that is the factory Romeo 1 Pro shroud on there. It's got some marks on it. It's been banged around. It's gnarled up a little bit, but it and the optic are holding up just fine. Haven't had any issues there. Sights, I really do dig the SIG X-ray sights right there. They are quite nice. You can still get a good sight picture. If you need it, should your optic be off, or if battery dies, or if you happen to break it. Now, talking about the insides here, let's go ahead, we'll break this down and we'll talk about a couple quick things here. So the barrel, you'll see right here across the hood. Now that polished off like that, I want to say in like the first 100 rounds. It was like the first day at the range that, you know, silver mark showed up. Other than that, you can see how the barrel is wearing in. It's wearing in exactly as I would expect everywhere. No galling, no massive marks, no trauma to the barrel. It's running and it's doing everything that the barrel should be. Of course, the spring, it's fine. Nothing going on there. Getting up into the slide right here, everything is as it should be. Everything's usual. Normal wear going up in there where the barrel hood goes up in there. I did notice that it does kind of favor the front and rear corners a little bit. So if you see right there, you'll kind of see those areas that are polished off in the front and in the rear a little bit more than just kind of the rest of that, the slide, I guess you could say. That's about the only odd thing that I have noticed. Now, as far as the fire control unit goes, zero issues. I have run this grip a lot, but what I've been running for the past couple months is my P80 grip right here because I like the way it feels and I absolutely love the way the gray looks. Most of you guys here are gonna know that. That's probably my favorite grip for the SIG, and then the Wilson's like right there. Let's go ahead and get this thing back together real quick. We're gonna do some trigger pulls on it to see where it is at. And then we'll talk about a couple other things, the range footage and all that good stuff. So, okay, so the one thing about the SIG triggers, they take a lot of getting used to. So if you have a different setup, you know, the take up is minimal on it, very defined wall. There is a little bit of creep here, and then it breaks. So the break on the SIG trigger is just kind of like, it just kind of happens. It's like non-carbonated soda. It's just there. You might still drink it, maybe not. So the reset on a SIG trigger, and this is one thing you'll see in the video, you can overrun it. So you can come out a little bit faster than it will reset, and your finger will jump off the trigger, and you may not be all the way reset yet. I did that a couple times at the range because it's just a little bit less positive than, say, a Glock or something. So it does take a little bit of getting used to, but I do like it. It's good. It's just when you shoot something else and go back to this, it can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. Let's go ahead, do some pulls here. Okay, let's start over like a bonehead. I didn't reset the gauge. The thing was all the way up here. So again, let's go ahead, start our pull. Okay, we are just over 5 pounds on that one. So 5 pounds and about 4 ounces, something like that. So I'm going to turn this way so it's a little easier for me to pull on the gauge. Okay, so that one, you take a good look at that, we're at about 4 pounds and 12 to 14 ounces, so not bad. That's pretty much what it feels like to me. And then there we are, just slightly under 5 pounds again. So we'll just do a couple just to give you guys an idea. It's pretty consistent. It's not bad, not my favorite trigger, but it is definitely solid. Well, let's go ahead and talk more about the range footage, any issues that I've had with this, and of course, do I still dig this thing after having all these rounds through it, close to 2K now, and am I happy that I spent my hard-earned money on it? Now, if you've been paying attention to the channel at all, you know that I just dig this thing. It's honestly one of my favorites. Now, we're gonna check out some of that range footage, and you're gonna see a couple of interesting things here, because I've been testing so many different things and so many different triggers for other things that when I stepped back in to get this to the range after not using it for a while, I was really rusty with it. I had some trigger freeze going on. I had some overrun issues going on. It was just not a great day at the range, but that happens to all of us. You just need to get over that stuff and go back out there again another day. Well, let's check out some of that range footage. That's just so bad. The flinching, the trigger freeze. I had like the worst day possible out there on the range. And even after that, I still just dig this thing. And there's a couple of different reasons why I like the 320 X series specifically, not the regular version. I'm specific very much to the X5 or the X series grips specifically because they fit me far better than kind of the weird stress ball feel of the regular PT320 grip. I can't talk today, the regular P320 grip modules. Now, normally besides a bad day on the range like I had when I was filming this one, I am extremely fast with the SIGs now. I have gotten my speed up to the point where I am with my CZs or my Glocks because there are just little differences. Anytime you get a couple different degrees in grip angle, anything like that, a different grip size, different grip length, different feel, you need to learn that, and if you don't shoot it regularly or you're going from one setup to another, it can affect your performance on the range. And that's something I deal with a lot because I test out so many different brands and so many different pistols at this point. So generally my speed is a little bit better than it was out there today, but the accuracy for these is just top notch for me. Even when I'm making some of those mistakes, I find myself far more accurate with the SIG RXP and the X Full than I am with my Glocks. Even my M&P or my CZs, I find that it's just a very forgiving setup. and maybe just be a me thing, but that has just been my experience out there. And then of course, when it comes down to the grip, like I said, I'm very specific to the X series of grips. It just fits. Everything about the grip on these, even the compact version, just absolutely fits my hand, fits my ergonomics when I'm out there on the range, and just seems to be extremely natural when I am out there presenting on target. The one little bit of a negative, it just still is not the best trigger out there. I find myself kind of overrunning the reset a little bit, so my finger's moving faster than the trigger is resetting. That's kind of a specific thing to SIG, at least that I feel, because it doesn't have that really tactile kind of throw your finger out feel like Glocks or even M&Ps or stuff like that has. So it's a little soft on not only the brake, but the reset. But when I'm running these things a lot, I generally don't notice it at all. But when I've gone from one thing to another, it becomes a very definitive and noticeable trigger reset as compared to others. Now, besides that, I can't lie to you guys, absolutely love the thing. Now, I know some people hate them, some people love them. Me, I just flat out dig the 320 in the X series. As far as this specific version goes, I have been told that it's actually not for sale right now. I think it's on some kind of law enforcement only or government only thing right now, just because of everything that's going on in the market. I sincerely do hope that this opens up very soon, because I do think the way that this sits with that grip and this shorter slide, I dig this far more than some of the other things out there kind of in its class. I'm a huge fan of the full-size grip and the shorter slide, like the Glock 45, stuff like that. That just seems to be what really fits me, because it's an all-around thing for me. I can conceal it, I can use it out there on the range, I can use it as duty carry if I need to. It's just an absolutely solid size and setup for me, being a little bit of a bigger guy. Well, I hope you guys liked seeing that follow-up video on the RXP X Carry. Like I said, one of my favorite setups out there on the range. I dig it, and you're gonna see a lot more of this thing as I do more and more stuff with it. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, turn those bell notification icons on, and of course, if you feel that I deserved it, give that video a like. You guys make sure you check out Shall Not Comply for that 2A channel swag, because they're handling all that for me. And of course, if you want to support me, you can check out the Patreon, which huge thank you to all of you Patreons. You guys are absolutely awesome. I really enjoy the contact and everything over there. Live streams should be up and rolling by now for you guys, at least probably once a month right now, until I get all the bugs worked out on that. Any other links down below, of course, are huge supports to the channel, and I'd appreciate if you would use those. Leave me a comment down below on what your feelings on SIG are, or maybe you're still hating on them because of all that litigatory style stuff that's been going on. You guys get out there and have some fun on the range. Remember, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, and I will see you guys on the next one.